With YouTube demonetizing independent media, please consider becoming a patron today for just $1 per month. Link below. You know, as a rotund American, I can proudly say that I love Mexican food, obviously. And I was spoiled by living in Southern California for 15 years and having access to the best around, and that is not up for debate. Now that I live in Washington, it isn't happening as much, which obviously is sad. But anyway, I can't help but laugh at the story of 53-year-old Gilberto Escamilla, who has just been sentenced to, I shit you not, 50 years in prison for stealing over $1.2 million worth of fajitas from the Cameron County, Texas Juvenile Justice Department. Now, Gilberto admitted to a and I admit, very clever scheme where he would place orders for the fajitas through the Darrel B. Hester Juvenile Detention Center in San Benito, Texas. He would then intercept the fajitas and resell the goods to his own customers. And he's been doing this since 2008. Now, he was busted 9 years later in August of 2017 when he happened to miss a day of work and an 800-pound order of fajitas came through. Now, employees were suspicious because the minors at the detention center are never served fajitas. And then the delivery driver admitted that he'd been doing that for nearly a decade, which has got to be one of those weird, like, oh crap moments. Like, wait, what's going on here? Anyway, during his court testimony, Gilberto admitted that he was selfish and the plot to steal the fajitas small and then got bigger. He said it got so bad that he actually couldn't control it anymore, which makes sense in these kind of situations. But because Gilberto admitted to stealing over $200,000 worth of goods, Texas law considers the crime to be a first-degree felony and allows for sentencing for up to 99 years in prison. The punishment is also more severe because Gilberto was just a public servant at the time. And 50 years for stealing fajitas, man. Like, that's got to be one of the weirdest cases that are, you know, that's got to be one of the weirdest stories you're going to tell in prison. He'll get in there day one. Oh, fresh fish. What you in jail for? I stole fajitas. How? What? I stole lots of fajitas. I am here for 50 years. Lots of fajitas. He's 53 years old. This is effectively a life sentence for stealing $1.2 million worth of fajitas and then reselling them. Now, look, I have to give him credit where credit is due. As bad as the crime is, and it is a crime, make no mistake about that, but as bad as it is, this is a story where this dude straight up got himself busted because he got greedy. Right? And it's free merchandise. That's the best part about it. The whole thing is just free merchandise. He gets to work, intercepts an like 800-pound order of fajitas. I'm still kind of curious how he got it out of there, right? You know, probably through a van or truck or something, gets it in there, puts it in his vehicle, takes it home, tosses it in his refrigerator, which is where the cops actually found everything after he was arrested and fired, and they went to his house to search. They found a lot of fajitas inside of his refrigerator. And then, of course, he was running a restaurant on the side, apparently. I haven't been able to find out much information about where that's at yet, although I'm sure it exists. The articles I looked at didn't cover that. And, you know, then he, in fact, sold off those fajitas. It's a great system. All you have to do at that point is just buy, like, the pico and buy the sour cream and the guac and the cheese and you know, and the red sauce and the green sauce, and you have yourself basically a really low overhead endeavor. But the thing is, it's the greed part that I find to be interesting. It is. Here's a guy who found a good system. He found a good system for 9 years, and he made over $1 million probably, right? He came close to making $1 million. Or no, 1.2 million is what, like, they estimate the value at. But I don't know how much he sold them for. I don't know if that's the value of the fajitas that were stolen, probably, but not what he sold them for. And he probably turned a hell of a profit over the course of those years. I mean, that's $100,000. No, that's over $100,000 a year on top of his salary working at the juvenile detention center. So this dude was making bank. And I'm kind of wondering here, and this is kind of where I'm going. I'm wondering if he has a nest egg put away somewhere, right? You know, clearly 53 years old, going to jail for the rest of his life for stealing fajitas. I know it seems like kind of just like crazy. It just feels like this dude, should he go to jail for that amount of time? Should he die in prison for ripping off the state and stealing fajitas? I don't know. You know, I know the law is, it's a first-degree felony, and they can sentence him up to 99 years. Yeah, you know, he admitted it, he pled it down. They gave him 50. I don't quite know why he would even care at that point. You know, if they said, look, if you plead it down, we'll give you 50 years in prison, and then there's that, right? But he's like, it could be either 99 or 50 years, but he'll be like, well, I'm dead either way. So why not, like, you know, why not plead not guilty, see it through, maybe try to get off on a technicality or something. However, that's probably entirely impossible considering the fact that this dude had this stuff inside his place, right? But he could argue, that's not mine, that's not mine, that's not mine. And then they go and they look at his business and they're just like, yeah, it's yours. So he was screwed any way you look at it. Maybe he just wanted to plead down because he knew he was done. And he wanted just to he didn't want to drag it out for his family's sake. And that I understand, that I can actually empathize with. You know, like, you just want to, you know, he knows he made these errors. But the question now is, what's going to happen to his family, right? If he made all of this money illegally off of illegally gotten gain or illegally gotten goods, then his whole family is going to be feeling it. His whole family is going to, you know, end up suffering. The government could come in and, like, take the house. You know, because he's been ordered to pay back the $1.2 million as well as a $10,000 fine. So does he have the money? Probably not. And if he's married, you know, to his wife, that's gonna bankrupt them. That's gonna bankrupt the house. I mean, that's gonna take everything. Now, don't get me wrong. The dude stole. He profited off of stolen goods. So there's got to be restitution. I'm merely just talking out loud in terms of, like, how it's going to impact his family. And again, you know, it's just crazy. If it were me and I was doing that for 9 years, man, you know, what it was is he got complacent. He got lazy, and he missed a day of work, and that's how he got caught, right? Like, he just mixed up the day that the order was coming in, and then he ended up getting got, you know what I mean? Or getting got. And as a result of that, now he's in jail for the rest of his life. And it goes to show you that ultimately, while crime may pay in the early stages, crime doesn't pay forever. And eventually you get got, and then you go down. Now, if he would have gotten out years ago, nobody would have known. Cancel the order of the fajitas, say you're not serving them anymore. No one's going to question it. They've already, you know, you generally end up getting away with it. But that money, man, you know, that money's so good. It's just, you feel it, and you get addicted to it, and you want more of it. It's the thrill of not getting caught. But I think maybe subconsciously he maybe wanted to get caught, you know, because if you're running nine years of a scam, you've got it down to a system. You've got it down to a science. So I can only gather, at least in terms of my own speculation at this point, that this guy sat there and he screwed up on purpose because he wanted to get caught. I think he knew it was out of control. He knew he couldn't stop. And this is what happened. So remember, friends, crime doesn't pay forever. But what do you guys think about this? Do you think 50 years is too much? Do you think that he should have gotten less time? You think he might be able to get out on good behavior? You think he might be able to experience freedom for one more day or two of his life? Should he even be able to experience freedom? Should he be locked up in a maximum security prison for stealing fajitas? These are things I'm curious to know. Be sure to let me know in the comments. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel. If you haven't already, please thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel. If you want to support the channel, the best way is through Patreon right now. And if you want to see more from me, you can also do that right now. Hey, thank you very much for watching the video. Be sure to hit that subscribe, click on that bell, and follow me on social media. It's the best way to stay up to date on all things Mundane Matt, as well as check out 3 Buck Theater and the Russell podcast streaming Sunday through Thursday, 9:30 p.m. on russell.net. Thanks very much and have a great day.